next performer coming to the stage is a writer for College Humor. Help me welcome the very talented Julia Edelman, everyone. Let her hear it!
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good. Cool. I'm so excited to be here. My parents are here. That's fun. Excited to get the dick jokes out. That'll be cool. I'm really new to stand-up, but I really like practicing in New York. I think it's a really great place to start stand-up because I really like talking to myself, like on the street, when I'm going to work or on the subway, because like you can just talk to yourself in New York and no one gives a shit. They're just like, oh great, another fucking crazy person. So that's really great. But I was talking to myself the other day and just practicing a routine, and I didn't realize that a guy was watching me, and he just looks at me and he just goes, no, and he hands me $1. But like, it wasn't even that surprising, because like that's not the first time a guy's paid me to stop talking. So, you know, I didn't mind. But you know, I also told my younger sister that I started doing stand-up. She's 10. And so she went to school, and then a few days later she told me how when she was at school, she told everyone it was her birthday, and everyone bought her cake and candy, and it was so funny. It was such a funny joke. And I realized she thought like being a comedian meant being a pathological liar. And so I wanted to tell her that that was wrong, but then I realized that that was sort of right, so I just said nothing. But then a few days later, she faked having an allergic reaction, and they took her to the hospital, and she didn't say it was a joke until they got there. So she got suspended. I don't think that's my fault. But something like that, I feel like it's always gonna happen to me. Like I'm gonna say something so offensive that I'm gonna get banned from an entire building. Like it's a fear, but it's also a dream. When I'm not ruining my sister's life, I'm looking for love. I recently checked out OkCupid. Thought I would check out the online dating world. So I made a username, and the first thing that I thought of was Snake Girl Likes Tacos. I don't know why. And like I thought I would be able to change it, but it turns out you can't. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick with that. And then I started getting all these messages from these guys, and they're like, you want to see my snake? And so it's like, yeah, I do want to see your snake. And then they sent me all these pictures, but like they didn't look like snakes, they looked like penises. It was really disappointing. The other night I was taking a taxi home, and it was really late, and it was just, the car was silent, and I was really tired. And then suddenly the taxi driver's just like, oh, how was your night? Starting to start up a conversation, and I said, you know, it was fine. How was yours? He said, it was good, uneventful. And then there's about a minute of silence, and then he goes, so you want to go out sometime? And I realized, like, this is probably the worst situation to ever reject someone. Like, he has me trapped in his car, he knows where I live, and like I'm dependent on him to get home. So, like, I don't really know what to say. So at first I'm like, you know, like I would love to go on a date with you. I just, you know, I'm so busy. I have such a busy schedule. I don't think I can. And he was like, oh, well, like, what are you doing right now? And so I was like, and then I just told him I was having an allergic reaction, and I think he automatically knew I was either a pathological liar or a comedian, but like either way, he took me home right away. But yeah, can I just get a show of hands here? Who here likes to walk? Is that, yeah, you guys are human, that's great. I walk as well. I was walking the other day, and a heel broke on my shoe, and so I had to get it repaired. And so I went, and the guy who repairs my shoes, he's this really old Russian Jewish man. And so within like the first minute of me handing him the shoe, he just looks at me and he goes, so tell me, are you married? And I'm just like, no, I'm not. And then he gets really excited, and he's like, so are you Jewish? I'm like, yeah, I am. I know how I look. And then And then he gets ecstatic, and he goes, so are you a virgin? And I didn't want to disappoint him, so I was just like, yeah. And he was just so happy, and he was, you must meet my virgin Jew son. And so I went out with him, actually, because I was really sick of online dating, and I just figured this is sort of like OkCupid, but in Russia in the 1940s. So I was like, this will be awesome. So I went out with him, and he was actually really nice. But the thing is, I was really excited to lose my virginity again. It was great. But then he kept trying to convince me to sleep with him, and he was like, come on, just do it for our ancestors. But I was like, I already am doing it for our ancestors. I'm doing it for the shoe discount. All right. Thank you.